One of only two landlocked provinces in Canada, Saskatchewan is widely known for its flat prairie landscapes, but it's also home to chiselled badlands, thick boreal forests, sand dunes, and thousands of lakes. It's very much an outdoor province as it doesn't have any major metropolitan centers. However, it does have some cool cities and towns, including Saskatoon, which has one of the youngest demographics in Canada. So here is the list of the 10 best things to do in Saskatchewan, Canada. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for the latest upcoming travel videos. Here we go. Number 1. Prince Albert National Park. Prince Albert National Park is one of the two national parks in the province. It is located in northern Saskatchewan. The park is perfect for summer camping trips. There are a number of front country and backcountry campsites that you can reserve to enjoy a weekend or two in the lap of nature. There are special authentic cabins at the Beaver Glen Campground, which are a great option for families and couples to enjoy a comfortable camping experience. Inside the park, you will also find restaurants, playground areas for kids, and bike and hike trails. We mostly spent our time hanging out by the beach and Waskesiu Lake. Emma Lake and Kingsmere Lake are two of the other lakes in the vicinity. Top hiking trails include the Waskesiu River Trail and the Boundary Bog Trail. Both are easy hikes to embark on. Number 2. Fort Walsh National Historic Site. Fort Walsh National Historic Site was established in 1875 under the direction of James Walsh. It was intended to stop the illegal whiskey trade and became one of the most important posts in the West. During its life, the fort negotiated with the whiskey traders, the native peoples, and the thousands of Sioux warriors who sought refuge in Canada after clashes with the U.S. cavalry. Following the building of the railway and the return of the Sioux people to the USA, the fort was dismantled and abandoned. In 1942, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police acquired the land and built a ranch on which to breed horses. Number 3. Athabasca Sand Dunes Provincial Park. The Athabasca Sand Dunes is the largest active sand surface in Canada and the northernmost sand dunes in the world. They are located on the south shore of Lake Athabasca and stretch for approximately 100 kilometers. With dunes as high as 30 meters and a unique ecosystem that contains rare and endemic plants, the Athabasca sand dunes are considered an evolutionary puzzle. In order to protect this fragile environment, there are many guidelines to follow if you choose to visit this park. The park is only accessible by float plane and is only recommended for experienced wilderness users. There are guided tours available by licensed companies, which make visiting the dunes possible for average citizens. Number 4. Western Development Museum. The Western Development Museum is the largest human history museum in Saskatchewan and is located in many places across the province, including Saskatoon, North Battleford, and Moose Jaw. With a collection of over 75,000 artifacts ranging from pins to locomotives, the WDM shares the Saskatchewan story from the beginning of settlement to the present day. You'll learn about Saskatchewan through its exhibits, educational and public programs, special events, and research about the history of the province. Number 5. Saskatoon Forestry Farm Park and Zoo. Did you know that the Saskatoon Forest and Park Zoo was once a simple tree nursery? Known as the Sutherland Forest Nursery Station, it played an important role in the settlement and development of the prairies from 1913 to 1966. Over the span of 50 years, the nursery shipped 147 million ash, maple, elm, and willow trees to the northern parts of the prairie provinces. Today, the forestry farm has been designated a National Historic Site and provides an awe-inspiring landscape for the park and zoo. The Saskatoon Forest and Park Zoo is the only accredited zoo in Saskatchewan. With rotating exhibits containing a variety of animals, including Chinese red pandas, lemurs, and the newest resident, Kazi the snow leopard, the zoo is sure to be fun for the whole family. Number 6. Grasslands National Park. Golden grass sways and whispers in the breeze, bison graze on ancestral lands, and the vast clear blue sky meets the horizon. It's a vision that's remained unchanged for millennia. Grasslands National Park protects one of the last intact grasslands on the North American prairie. A visit here is a step back in time. You can take in this ancient landscape from the two scenic highways that lead through the park's east and west sections. Pause as you go to take photographs and explore trails on foot in search of wildlife. Since 71 plains bison were reintroduced here in 2006, the herd's grown to over 300, and you can see them in the park's west block. Number 7. RCMP Heritage Centre. If you want to learn all about Canada's iconic National Police Force, this is the place to go. There are so many interesting facts and stories, as well as artifacts and interactive games. There are so many things to do, including solving a crime, virtual reality exhibits, and even an arcade game where you can drive a police car. The RCMP Heritage Centre is also located on the doorstep of the RCMP Academy, Depot Division, which is the only training academy for the Mounties in all of Canada. For tours, you can hop aboard their electric people mover and enjoy a behind-the-gates driving tour of the training academy. Driving tours are scheduled daily from April to October and are included in your admission price to the Heritage Centre. Number 8. Tour Moose Jaw's Underground Tunnels. Beneath Moose Jaw's city streets lies a network of tunnels dug in the early 1900s. On a guided tour, you'll hear fascinating stories, including how the tunnels cemented Moose Jaw's nickname as Little Chicago. The tunnels were originally a refuge for Chinese immigrants who were experiencing persecution above ground. During America's Prohibition in the 1920s, they were a hub for rum running, housing illegal alcohol that was then smuggled over the border. An array of infamous characters, including Al Capone, roamed the underground network, away from the watchful eyes of law enforcement. All this history, whether fact or folklore, is brought to life on your tour through interactive exhibits and anecdotes shared by your enthusiastic guide. Number 9. Royal Saskatchewan Museum. If you're interested in learning about Saskatchewan's natural history and Indigenous cultures, past and present, you should visit the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. We love the Life Sciences Gallery, where we learned so much about the flora and fauna in the province, but we especially loved the First Nations Gallery, which included so many beautiful artifacts from the local Indigenous groups. The museum is actually pay by donation, and is home to a life-size cast of the world's largest T-Rex, Scotty. The museum is also a world-class research institution in paleontology, sustainability, Indigenous studies, and biology. Its collections are part of Saskatchewan's heritage and help scientists from all over the globe study our natural world. Number 10. Saskatchewan Legislative Building. The Saskatchewan Legislative Building is one of the most historic properties in all of Saskatchewan. The complex was built between 1908 and 1912. It was the first building in Saskatchewan to be designated a provincial heritage property in 1978, and then as a National Historic Site of Canada in 2005. Taking either a guided tour in English or French, or a self-guided tour of the Saskatchewan Legislative Building will take approximately 45 minutes. The tours offer a small peek into the Assembly's work, as well as the history of the building's construction. If you don't have the time for a tour, be sure to stroll through the Saskatchewan Legislative Building's gardens. Number 11. Batoche National Historic Site. Batoche was the headquarters of the famous Métis, Louis Riel, during the 1885 Northwest Rebellion. It is also where the rebellion finally came to an end, following a decisive battle. Displays illustrate the way of life of the Métis, events leading up to the rebellion, and the Battle of May 1885. The presbytery, still showing shell and bullet holes from the battle, and the Church of Saint Antoine de Padoue, 1883–84, are now excellent museums. The graves of Dumont and Latendre, and a mass grave of fallen Métis can be found in the churchyard. There's a good shuttle bus service to get you around this sprawling site, and other fun things to do include renting a canoe and interacting with costumed guides. Number 12. Saskatchewan Science Centre. The Saskatchewan Science Centre is an interactive science museum located in Regina. Housed in a former power plant in the heart of Wascana Park, this popular attraction has over 180 hands-on exhibits, live stage shows, and demonstrations for kids and adults alike. There are several fixed and visiting exhibits for families to explore. These exhibits showcase different scientific disciplines, with everything from space to energy to the wildlife of Saskatchewan. The visiting exhibits mean that there is always something new to learn about and play with at the Science Centre. The live demonstrations allow guests to learn about everything from cryogenics to air pressure to the sweet science of sugar. The last word. So guys, these are the best things to do in Saskatchewan, Canada. I hope you will like it and appreciate it. People who come to this city are amazed by all of the awesome things there are to do and see. Saskatchewan is Canada's 7th largest province. Considered one of the prairie provinces, it is home to unique landscapes from sand dunes, rolling hills, and fields as far as the eyes can see, to forested areas, and surprisingly, some mountainous regions. So, if you love to travel and want to see the whole world, this is the channel that gives you a list of the best places to visit. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for the latest upcoming travel videos. Bye bye, see you in the next video.